Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. And happy Friday. Give me a quick sound check, please. That'd be great. Appreciate it, Michael. You are the lone soldier in here this morning. Probably pick up a few stragglers in the next few minutes. And awesome. Thanks, man. Okay, cool. So, for those of you who will be watching this in a few hours' time, good day to you. I hope you're well. And as I said, happy Friday. We're going to have a reflection period. Have a think about the week, what's been going on, how we've done, and have a look at setting up for the US markets. No point, no point looking at the other asset classes. Monday through Thursday, fine. Friday, there's really not too much point. However, hurrah! We have come to the end of our UK Brent position. We did a 2.77 trade and it returned 0.69% on the account, which is pretty nice. A good way to tie up the alt asset class positions, leaving us only to our devices with the US stock market this afternoon. So I'm glad that one's finally done. Did have a couple of spicy moments, thinking that it was gonna it was gonna go for its run down to 72.12, hit the stop, but we did manage to make it through, so that's pretty good, and the margin is complete now. So now that we've reached this big area up at 75.18, if we look at the daily chart, I would, without any doubt, I would actually be short from here. Ideally, we're really looking for the retest of this area in here, but I mean that's open to speculation, isn't it? Because this could have already retested that area. It really, yeah, it's a difficult one. I think in an ideal world, I probably would have had it come a little bit further, to be honest. Like, I know what I like to see with my liquidity, and for me, this is not a deep enough push into that sort of 75.50 area in order for me to have the confidence in going short. But my intentions next week, what I'm hoping to see is the move up into this point of liquidity and then short it. So I really do want to do that. That's on the cards. So, yeah, we're just gonna see, I suppose. So, yeah, so that's that. Looking at the rest of them, then gold is just incredible. 26.10. I know I haven't really seen too much mention of gold. Michael, to be fair, mate, I know you participate in gold a fair bit, don't you? But yeah, just absolutely amazing. I'm looking at this one all the time, to be honest. We didn't really have too much of a price action pullback down to that. We came down to 25.47. It just wasn't good enough for me. The FOMC threw a bit of a spanner in the works. Gold's now trading, 26.10. Incredible, absolutely incredible. But at the same time, of course, looking up here on the daily chart, this is a really big point of liquidity in here. There's no doubt about it. I'm not mistaken with my belief there. That is a very big point of liquidity, and we have had no retest. We're just powering on through. Now, we did have this price action pullback. Now, are you telling me that that's the size of the liquidity level on the daily chart? Nah, no chance. So this is just a it's just a non-retested area, which always makes me a little bit nervous. Always makes me a little bit nervous like that. Like there's a big, deep move coming. Look at this. Look at the state of this, right? We come up and then we power down. We hit a high of 24.84, and then we come all the way down really sharply to 23.52. That's a big move right there. Make no mistake. So the duration of that move, 5.3% down? So it's a big one. And I just feel like we're so bullish at the moment. We're seeing sort of week on week, almost day on day gains and new all-time highs being achieved that I believe that soon enough gold's probably going to have a similar thing, and we will see that 25-35 area, the supply and demand zone, retested, and then for it to go up. So I don't know, probably, I think on reflection, I may carry a little bit of risk aversion over this asset in particular, and possibly a little bit, just carry a little bit of higher risk for me because of the way I perceive the markets to be. When in reality, there's been plentiful of trade ideas, really, that we, could have been utilizing. But I'm just at a stage at the moment of just waiting and watching. So looking at the rest of the markets this week, I think what I'll do here is I'll bring up the track as well, so we can have a look at it for this week. How can I do that? Wait, there we go. Yeah, thank you. Track. Yeah. So looking at the track this week, then it's been pretty good. I think it's been quite consistent. The win-loss ratio is remaining steady at the moment at 59.39, but we have failed to gain any traction with that. Not that that's a metric that I watch hugely, I have to be honest. I don't really care too much about my trade winning percentages. So long as I'm winning more than I'm losing, I'm kind of okay with that. The monthly return at the moment showing at 15.16%. Now this is updated in real time, so the oil position, as you can see there, is now in the track. I haven't traded this morning yet. I haven't done anything with the European session. I'm just going to trade the US Open, and that'll be it for me for the rest of for this week. But yeah, I think it's been pretty good. The weekly return's been 6%, so obviously that is really good. But I don't think it's not come easily, and I do think it's been a little bit of a slog. So, for example, I think we've done 21 trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20 trades. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losers. So that's not bad. It's okay. Pretty decent. Obviously, consistency in the risk reward ratio and risk management really puts that winning home. If you're always trading, if you're trading 1-to-1s constantly and stuff like that, then your percentage is going to be very, very small, aren't they? Your returns. It's been okay. It's been pretty good. Total return now at 269.64, which is pretty fantastic. I'm really hoping, I guess, this afternoon from our US Open that we don't get a string of losers. It would be nice to finish the end of the week on 270% total return, which would be solid. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. This is just completely null and void at the moment because it's just going to constantly keep growing. I mean, if I do 1% in a month on £1 million, obviously it's going to be greater than 15% on 270 grand or whatever it is. Yeah, sorry, 370. So yeah, that's just going to keep on going out and out and out. Well, so we hope. But it's been all right. I mean, Monday we were looking at 2.1%. Tuesday saw 1%. Wednesday saw 1.9, and Thursday saw 0.87. So day-on-day gains. It's been pretty good, pretty consistent. I think that's pretty much run throughout the room as well. I know you yourself, Michael, you've done incredibly well this week. Really, really well. I know Nadia, if you're catching up on this later, Nadia, obviously you know where you stand, and you've done incredibly well. Yeah, I know, I've seen a couple of the other messages for you guys in there doing well as well. So I think it's been all right, but it's just not been incredibly easy market conditions to call. And I think it really does go to, I think it's even more of a sort of well done. You deserve even more of a well done as a result of that, because they haven't been incredibly easy markets to call. The price action has been a bit choppy. We had the BOE, we had the FOMC in the evening to contend with. We had pound CPI as well. Excuse me, just sucking down a coffee. So I think it's been quite touchy. Markets price action this week, in hindsight, has looked quite smooth, I guess. A lot of these, we look back in time and we can see, lots of nice trading opportunities here and there and stuff like that. In some of them, not in the Aussie NZD, but in some of them they've been really good. But in real time, when we were trading them, they weren't super easy to call, or I didn't feel that they were. We were looking at our major inflection points and the breaker structure points and stuff and so on and so forth. But it wasn't all completely clear. And we did take, obviously we did have those 7 losses across the week. And that some of those trades, I think it was like the NZD USD. I can't remember where I was now. I think some of these trades, maybe it's the NZD JPY. We took the positions and they came to within a very close margin of target profit, and then reversed and hit the stop losses. And we have seen a running theme of that. Definitely, from the fund's perspective, the fund has definitely seen a running theme of that over the last 2 weeks, I'd say in particular, where our trades are coming very close to target profit and then reversing. So might have to just go through a little bit of a brush up session for myself, and I'll do that with you next week, and we'll have a little bit of a workshop on the a little bit of a workshop on liquidity or something. Speaking of workshops, I did a poll ages ago. Everyone's left. Yeah, no one's. We got 4. We got 4 votes here. We need some more. I'm gonna ping that out to everyone again. Take the poll. Yeah. So I put a poll out. I think that was on Tuesday, and that was for what workshop topic do you want to see next? And I put a couple of workshop topics in there. But I do think I need to brush up on liquidity sort of assessment again. I mean, yeah, I know it sounds insane hearing me say that. Obviously, it's something I do every day like the back of my hand. But maybe what's happened is I've fallen to complacency. Maybe I am a bit complacent. Maybe I could be better. Well, I could always be better. I mean, always, constantly. I'm never going to be perfect, but yeah, I think that would be quite valuable, not only to you but to me as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, that was the GC. That was the only remaining one we had. We were looking at the breakout and retest of this area that came into fruition. Called it a 7. When the breaker structure was right in here, at that area, and that hit the target, and it absolutely shot up. I don't know if anyone. Well, again, I know Michael, you're the only guy watching at the moment. But if you're watching all this, this session this afternoon, team, did anyone manage to capture that one? Waiting for that BCR and the continuation. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. I think on reflection, it's been good. It's been consistent. We've been process driven. There's not been any sort of episodes of erratic trading or anything. I think if I'm being really self-critical, my use or my ascertainment skill in spotting liquidity may be a little bit off. Not entirely, clearly, but I think I definitely could dust off a little bit and get and sort of fine tune that. Just refine my process a little bit. Maybe go cover the track record, go through the previous trades, look at the losers, and sort of see where I went wrong and what I missed. So I think that would be a good session to do next week, regardless of the workshop poll that I've done. I think I'm going to do that anyway with you guys next week. So we'll stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned for that one. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let's have a look then at what's been going on this morning. So it doesn't really get much better than that this morning either. I was really glued on a bullish bias for some reason. I don't know why. I was just looking at trend continuation really after we'd had like such, sort of solid runs up. Thinking about Friday, we rally Monday through Thursday, and then Friday the profit taking takes place, and we see the market dip. We've done this a million times, we know it, but for some reason, I was just looking for that bullish continuation. I had the margins all constructed and set out for the bear trades on the Stocks 50 and the DAX, and didn't take anything. Didn't take them. So a bit of a shame there. Yeah, I did drop the ball definitely on these shorts this morning, but it is what it is. So we'll just have to move on from them now. So let's clear down the charts. There we go. Yeah, so looking at this afternoon then, NAS 100, US 30 Dow Jones. Seeing it where we are. Morning, James. I mean, yeah, it's not looking great at the moment, is it? Incredibly range bound. It doesn't look like anyone's there anymore. It looks like they've all gone home for the week. But it does give us a really, really good point of reference for this afternoon's trading because of the price equilibrium state that we're trading in at the moment. Incredible range here in the Dow and the US 30 and in the Dow and the NAS. So we can be utilizing these margins obviously for our breakouts this afternoon. Yeah, no worries, mate. I said to Michael this morning, or I said to Michael when we first jumped on that most people do. Monday through Thursday streams at 1:30. Everyone just gets into that routine. So most people do forget about the session on Friday at 9:30. It's all good. All good. You've got ample time to watch the stream back. Just in a nutshell, just to cover what we've done so far. I mean, I was having a bit of a reflection period on the performance of this week, which has been good. It's been consistent, but there's been a running theme over the last few weeks of some of my positions coming very close to their targets and then reversing all the way back down to stop loss. So I was suggesting that next week we do a workshop where I possibly dig into the track record a bit, look at the trading history and go through some of the losses and try and work out, if there's necessary improvements that need to be made in the process and stuff like that, because I've been a little bit maybe complacent in my spotting of liquidity and stuff like that. So yeah, just a bit of an improvement session. Yeah. So NAS 100, decent range at the moment. Dow Jones, very, very much the same thing. Incredibly tight little range there. We get a couple of liquidity points either side of this here, and to be honest, I'll probably make that a bit wider because of these lows. And then we've got the one on top as well, which is in there. Very, very strong area of price equilibrium here. It does prove good for us this afternoon because obviously we've got some clear margins to trade. What we're going to be hoping for, bearing in mind, team, it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning here, is you're going to stay in this range until the market breakout this afternoon, because ultimately that's where you want to be. So you're going to be looking at a trade idea like that for the afternoon, for the long, and for the short, just the same thing on the opposite side. Now the target profit on the opposite side of the on the sell side is slightly odd. It's a wide zone, isn't it? But that is going to be where you're looking for. Yeah, so you're looking at the BCR here, that retest point, this rebound. So that's the area of liquidity that you're going to be looking out for. So you've got a decent margin of trade on either side of the market, but you really hope that it's not going to be triggering before that market opens up this afternoon, and you've got a while to go before it does. So that's going to be one there-ish, and then you got the one on the other side. So one's a 2.3, one's a 2.3. They're both 2.3s. So decent risk yield. Just in terms of fundamental catalysts today, let's have a look. Friday the 20th, unbelievably. We obviously had the BOJ this morning. That's fine, non-impact event. And the only other thing we had really major was the United Kingdom's retail sales data. So no major fundamental catalyst for this afternoon. Yeah, so these 15-minute breaks of structure, they will include the 1-minute BCR. They will. If the market comes down here, we will see a BCR. I almost guarantee it. So, for example, this is where we're trading at the moment, right? If that point there is the liquidity point for the breakout, look at where my entry is. Okay, my entry is down here in 1979.80. Okay, now what I expect that will happen and what we need to happen is, you're absolutely right, we need to see the breakout, the retest, and the continuation. So that 15-minute break of structure will incorporate the 1-minute BCR in it. Now these are quite large trades, but I don't think they're too large. Tighten that up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, these are large trades. I don't think, but I don't think they're too large for the US breakout session. Looking at previous history, but you're absolutely right. You want to be trading these. You want to be looking at a BCR. They do require that necessary respect. This is exactly the same as the sell side one as well. So, for example, we've got the big 15-minute zone to articulate nicely where the liquidity is, but actually on the 1-minute chart, you're going to be looking for this area in here, and that's going to be the BCR point. Okay, same as this little area down here. Now, you do have the ability, if you want, to actually trade the range before the market opens. So pre-market trading, but not 15 minutes before the market open. So, for example, if you want to have a go at trading the range, in the interim, that's fine. This is a really, really decent range. I mean, my God, since it's been ranging like this all the way throughout the Asia session. And every single one of these waves, FYI, has been a successful trade. So if we're looking at risk versus reward in the previous price action to build up the probabilities, it's 100% success since we've come into the range. We came in down here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 trades. So the longer something is established, the more likely it is to end. You all know that, okay? We all know that. So you are running the risk now of the range being broken sooner rather than later. But you follow the process. There's no reason not to take the trades in the range if that is something that you want to do today before the market open. But I don't have a problem with that if you don't. So yeah, that's that. For the US 30 Dow Jones, things are slightly different. The range is not as good. It's still a very, very clean range, but it's much smaller and much, much choppier. So I would not suggest trading the range on the Dow Jones. You will simply be waiting for the market breakout. So, for example, we're looking at, all these big lows down here. Well, actually, I would cut the bottoms off all of those and say, there is my TP. So completely ignoring all of these big wild swings down below the liquidity there. And I would have my zone cutting all the bottoms off and have it there. Now the point in which you should see the BCR is going to be at this area in here. So then we're looking at the breakout, retest, the continuation. That's going to be your bear trade. The breaker structure for this one, so it's a BCR still of the same point that's been shown, this area in here, but the clear breaker structure area is probably going to be there. So like the level that you had in your chart when you asked me about the BOS this morning, James. So that's probably going to be the area that I'd be looking for there. So then your long is going to be, so your price action will be probably reject from this point, come back down, retest into liquidity, and then up and away. And that's going to be your bullish trade idea. right? So we'll actually probably use it will use our entry barrier as the point where it rebounds and retests this point of liquidity, and then breaks the structure. As soon as we break that structural point, we can get going. But these trades are market breakout trades. These are US Open trades. These are not trades that I'd be looking to take before in the pre-market. NAS 100 range-bound trades in the pre-market, fine, because the range is of good enough quality. The Dow Jones in particular, though, no chance. We only want to be sticking to the actual breakout positions for this afternoon's USO. And that's the plan, guys. That is the plan. That's the plan of attack. I'm really hoping we can pull a couple of wins out of the bag. 269% the funds on at the moment. Really, really want a winner today. I guess that's probably not a good thing, because every time you really want something to happen, it doesn't. And yeah, I've learned that the hard way over the years. But I think we've got some good trading plans in place, and let's hope something triggers and goes in our favor. So, do you guys have any questions at all? I'm good. It looks like it's going to happen. Okay. All right then, team. Well, it's been a pleasure as always. For those of you who weren't here this morning and are watching this later in the afternoon, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Good luck out there. I'm going to be with you throughout today and into the US Open this afternoon as well. I won't be traveling until about 3 o'clock, I don't believe. So yeah, I'll be with you for the majority of the day today. So have a fantastic day, great weekend, and I look forward to catching up with you on Monday, team. So take care, good luck, trade safe, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.